Hey there, this is Richard, and welcome to No Pants Profits. I'm coming to you today on day 10 for myself of this current bout on board the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady out of Miami. Now, this is Virgin Voyages' first cruise ship. Now, this is actually my second stint on board as a vacation, and this is actually day 14 overall. So we're on day 14 being on board. Spaced out, I was there in November 2021, and now, which is July of 2022. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend the next hour or so giving you a tour of the ship, but I wanna give you a different perspective, because there's a giant question that looms over Virgin Voyages. Can they survive? To be perfectly honest, these last two sailings, which one started July 3rd, 2022, and one started July 8th, 2022, July 3rd was about 1/3 capacity, and this is slightly less than 1/2 capacity. And the problem with cruise ships, if you don't know, it comes down to you need people on board to spend money. People don't weigh that much. So moving around a full ship versus moving around a half full ship is actually not too different. So what we're going to do is today we are going to review what's going on. I've got clips I'm going to insert in from all around the boat. I'm going to give you some really good ideas of what's going on, but we are going to talk money, because right now I think it's very important to know that Virgin Voyages is not owned by Richard Branson. It's owned by an outside equity firm called Bain Capital. Now, Branson owns a small stake just for his name, and it may be possible with the current marketing campaign that Branson gave some of his stake to J-Lo or Jennifer Lopez for what they're doing with J-Lo now, even though there's not been much evidence of that campaign on board. But what I want to do is I want to walk around and I want to talk about the logistics of pricing and different things like that. Full disclosure, I think this is important. The first time I sailed on Virgin in November 2021, we actually had booked and canceled and booked and canceled. Not us. They had booked and canceled and booked and canceled and booked and canceled, and we got some credit back every time, and it cost us essentially nothing to sail that time. And this time we are on as guests of the casino, but I do know the prices that people have paid for different rooms, so I will be using that value proposition. So let's go ahead, and we are on the outside deck of Deck 7. But what I want to show you is this is exactly where you get on board. We're going to take a look at some secrets, some money things, and different stuff like that. So right here is exactly where you get on board the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. Boop. And you'll see there's a big celebration and the horns and different stuff like that.
Congratulations, welcome.
What they do is they bring the suites on first. So if you are staying in a suite, they will bring the suites on first, and you kind of will skip this whole area. And I'm just going to show you kind of the suite path, because it's interesting to understand the suite path. But the suite path will come in. This is the main grand foyer area, the main kind of not as grandiose as other ships of this size. This is about 2,800 passengers, to give you an idea. But when you do come on board, if you are staying in a suite, they will whisk you right over to this area right here, which is actually called the Manor. And the Manor is where they bring in all of their suite guests. They have the champagne and other stuff like that that is available for them. So if you are a suite guest, you're going to come right down here from coming on board. We're walking through what's called the SIP Lounge. We'll come back here a little bit later. But we've got the Manor. Now, there are different events in the Manor that happen over the entire cruise, but, you know, on Embarkation Day, or the day you get on, what's in the Manor is the suites meetup. And look, there's covered microphones in here. This is the last day of this current sailing, so the ship will be in Miami tomorrow, but we'll go back out the same way we came in. And let's go to the main roundabout. So if you are not in a suite, when you get on board, you'll kind of be let on board and set free. Virgin does load their cruises a lot later than everybody else, and the reason they board their cruises a lot later than every other cruise line is you don't generally have to get off, last call to get off is about 10:45 a.m. in Miami. And that 10:45 a.m. in Miami, they need about a couple hours to turn around the boat. We did happen to be on that during those turnaround hours. We were actually only off for about 15 minutes because we were staying in the same cabin on a back-to-back basis. But when everybody comes on board, this is, again, the main roundabout. I'll show you some stuff in this main roundabout. So we've got the record store right here, which actually seems to be operated by Virgin and not by the shops, but I may be incorrect. So you got the record store right here on deck 7, right when you come in. You've also got right next to it, which you can, when I came in November, this will show you how new of a cruise line Virgin is. When I was here in November of 2021, you actually couldn't even book a future cruise on board. Now they have 2 people that you could actually book a future cruise on board with. In November, they would just let you buy and then refund special certificates that you could do to get a discount on a future cruise, but you actually could not book a future cruise in November of 2021. Now, as of July 2022, you can book a future cruise, and they do have promotions on board, just like every other cruise line, because here's the thing, if you book on board, we're getting into finance now, if you book on board, they don't have to pay out as large of a commission to your travel agent, and then they say that they're still giving it with your travel professional and transferring it so they take care of it. So your travel agent still makes some money there, but they don't make as much money if they were to sell it directly, and therefore Virgin can give a larger promotion to you, which is an interesting perspective. Now, we are going to go to the first of many bars we are going to visit on this little walk here. And the first bar, I'm going to do something kind of counterintuitive based on what I explained. Now, there is something you can get right now, which is called a bar tab. Virgin Cruises, Virgin Voyages, does not have a beverage package. I think that's important to know. I'm trying to escape the audio. Virgin Voyages, oh, there we go. As weird as it sounds, the DJ booth might be the place to escape it. Yes. Virgin Voyages at this time does not have a beverage package. The only way to get an all-you-can-drink beverage package is to be in what's called a Mega Rockstar Suite. Those start at about $12,000 for a 4 to 5 night sailing. So normal suites start about $4,000. Mega Rockstars, there's a couple of them on board. They're up by the not buffet, which we'll be to later. Start about $11,000 to $12,000, depending on 4 or 5 day cruising. But you can get drinks individually, and the drink prices do include gratuities. And one of my favorite money-saving tips on board is there is a place called the Poorhouse Draft House. There's a place called the Draft House. Are you open yet? Soon. Okay, I'll come by soon. There is a place called the Draft House where you can go, and it is a port day, so they're not open as early as it would be on a sea day. But you can go and you can get beer, and you can get it by the glass, and they have a lot of different beers from local places to South Florida. So they're with Wynwood Brewing down in Wynwood and different things like that. But the important thing is not only can you get beer by the glass, but you can actually get it by the growler. So that's really cool. Now, I did make a separate video on this showing you how you can get it by the growler, but if you think of it, it's kind of like a buy 4 beers, get 1.5 beers free when you do the actual math on the growler. It really does actually financially work out to get yourself a growler of the beers. Now, the growlers, if you do the math, you pay a $15 deposit for the growler, which you will get that back on the last night. What they do is they just refund the check they sold you the growler on, and then re-ring the beer they sold you the growler on. It's pretty simple math. But that's one great way to save money. Now, understand that when you don't have beverage packages, people are more likely to watch their onboard spend. So again, what Virgin has done is they have created something called the bar tab, which gives you, depending on when you sailed with Virgin for the first time, gives you a different amount of bonus money credited to your account, depending on when you sailed. We are what are called Sea Blazers because we sailed in 2021. So we always get kind of double the bar tab of any new sailor on the bonus perspective. So full disclosure, we bought a $300 bar tab for $300 in cash for both sailings, so one for each sailing. And then that gave us $125 more. So that gave us almost 150%, gave us $125 more. So we had $425 of bar tab to spend. So when you're talking about spend on board, in the traditional cruise ship world, you have something called APD, which is the average spend per person per day. But the Virgin formula works a little bit differently. Now, why is that? Because generally they include Wi-Fi. Generally they include sodas. We're going to go into all the specialty restaurants, all of your dining. And there is no main dining room, but all of the dining is included. So what that does is that reduces your onboard spend. There is no photo gallery on board. Now, there is a tattoo studio instead of a photo gallery, but there is no photo gallery on board. So the photo gallery doesn't make the money that would otherwise be made. Yes, photos are a dying thing, and they do have a photo booth that is available for free on Scarlet Night. But what's important to know is most of the money that Virgin is making on board comes from two things. Two things. The amount people are paying to actually get on board, which until very recently was significantly higher than a lot of the other middle-end cruise lines. What this is competing with is this is competing with Princess and Celebrity. They don't want to say they are, but they're competing with Princess and Celebrity. It's a different market segment. It's the same market pricing. So when you're looking at Virgin Voyages, what you should be most comparing them to is Princess and Celebrity and technically Holland America, but you know, you don't want to compare it to Holland America. But that's the idea, and those ships have a much higher APD of onboard spend with people buying shore excursions, people buying Wi-Fi's, and again, APD is average spend per person per day. So what you also don't have on Virgin is Virgin, as of right now, July 2022, and I think it'll stay that way, is adults only. So with it being adults only, all of your APDs, or your average spend per person per day, are adults. Now I will tell you, in the Caribbean, as a statistical average, I know these numbers from before the big C word, but they would make on board about $40 to $50 on traditional cruise lines of average per person per day on top of what they paid to be there. Now that includes shore excursions, shops, spa, Wi-Fi, everything. Virgin includes Wi-Fi. Dirty secret to Virgin's Wi-Fi is Virgin's Wi-Fi, when you buy it, is $15 a day or $10 a day or so. You get a day free if you buy the entire sailing. And you don't need to pay for the upgraded Wi-Fi, but if you do pay for the upgraded Wi-Fi, which we did, you get a better experience. And here's the important thing. Paying for the upgraded Wi-Fi gets you access on 3 separate devices. Dirty secret about those 3 separate devices. They do not need to be in the same cabin. I think that's an important thing. So if you're traveling, you can get the upgraded Wi-Fi for $5 per person per day across 3 different cabins if you're traveling with 3 cabins. So remember, you just have to put in the birthday and the cabin number of the person that's going to be purchasing the Wi-Fi, and you can use it on up to 3 different devices at one time. You don't actually need a separate Wi-Fi access for each person, which I find very unique and very interesting and not advertised anywhere before you buy. But the basic Wi-Fi is great for posting on social media, texting and things like that. But if you do like to watch a lot of YouTube, you like to go to a lot of things, I will let you know that there are some websites, specifically, amusingly, their competitors' websites and other casinos' websites that are actually blocked on their Wi-Fi. So I was looking at Comped, which some of you may or may not know. It allows you to use your comped cruises across other cruise lines that you might get from the casino. I was not able to access that. And my local casino, who's actually a partner with Virgin Voyages, I was not able to access either. But you can very easily just turn on Tunnel Bear, and if you turn on Tunnel Bear, which is an app you can get from Android or iOS, you're good to go. Now, another thing that generally costs money on cruise ships is hard scooped ice cream. And what's nice is Virgin actually includes hard scooped ice cream, all you want from morning to night, and it's actually, what's cool is they have different allergen ingredients and different things like that on the ice cream. So you've got your hard scooped ice cream right here, and you've got butter pecan, chocolate, brown butter fancier, key lime pie, malted strawberry milkshake, which is my favorite, green machine, sugar-free, vanilla. I think that's where they end and they start repeating. And you can try any of these, and you can have any of these in any of these different cones. Try and zoom into the cones there. Any of these different cones, any of these different flavors. Now, I can't eat ice cream while I'm doing this video, but I can taste ice cream. So can I get a taste of the malted strawberry milkshake and the green machine? All right, so she's got the malted strawberry milkshake right there. Yeah, unfortunately can't eat a whole thing of ice cream, but I have a good ice cream. That's the strawberry. Thank you very much. Malted strawberry milkshake and green machine. In cheeky fashion, this is called Lick Me Till I Scream. Now remember, this is just right off the main hub as you get in, but it's a little bit hidden. It's off to the side. So the other thing that's a little bit hidden and off to the side is the pizza place. And the pizza place has something very unique. Now the pizza place again is included, open currently until 1:30 in the morning. It was never open 24 hours, never designed to be open 24 hours. There is something for food open 24 hours still on Virgin Voyages, while the other cruise ships like Carnival have actually shut down their 24-hour food access. But what you'll see, I want to show you one of my favorite things in the pizza place. I don't know why this isn't more places on board, is you still have the C word and norovirus, whichever is kind of forgotten about, thing that makes you go out of both ends on cruise ships. So you've got that, and you've got hand sanitizers all over. Let them come on through. You've got hand sanitizers all over, but they have a really cool hand sanitizer. This is what the normal hand sanitizers are, yeah. They're branded. They're Virgin colors, everything like that. But just a little spritz. Oh, now I feel like I got bug spray on me. But let's say I wanted to get this bug spray off. The only really cool hand washing station they have on board is this guy. This is the smart hand washing system. You see it lights up and it mixes soap and water and lets me one-handedly get a mix of soap and water. Now, I will tell you, during this cruise, during the first cruise, we were actually hanging out with a group that was on board a lot, and I will tell you one of the members of that group is currently confined to their cabin with COVID-19. They posted, they have a YouTube channel called Cruise Habit, and they are currently confined to their cabin with COVID-19 for the remainder of the cruise, but they say Virgin's been treating them well, getting them room service and different things like that. The only thing that was hard for them is they are vegetarians, and the room service menu was not very vegetarian friendly. But coming into the pizza place, again, in the Virgin way, this is very different from other pizza places, as well as it's actually much more expensive to run when you include this because you're making individual pizzas for everyone. Now they do have a grab and go section, which is really cool. Something you will not find anywhere on a Virgin ship is plastic water bottles. So you'll see we've got a grab and go section with salads and chicken and Caesars and everything like that. And we've got a whole bunch of different beers, Chardonnays, Stray the Course. They have a lot of canned cocktails. That's actually been added since the last time we were on board. There's a lot of the canned cocktails. But I do need a drink for right now. Can I just get a Coke? Thank you. So all soft drinks are included. I think that's an important factor. So you've got Cokes. You don't need to pull out your room key or anything like that. They are all included. But I will say the pizzas, I do like them, but I've been avoiding them because carbs. They are more artisanal in nature than your normal pizza place on a cruise ship. So, you know, you've got the classic, which is mozzarella and tomato sauce, white truffle and egg. Thank you. You got a white truffle and egg. You've got a chicken pesto, pretty fly for a white pie, pepperoni, and a vegan pizza. And they do make all the pizzas from scratch. It's not order a slice, it's actually a full pizza. And I think another thing when we do talk about cost, because this is an important thing to know, is you do have pizza boxes that you can get to go, and it's included. And remember, this is included in your voyage fare. So with it being included in your voyage fare, that is why your voyage fare is higher than it would normally be. But what they do is they'll give you a little beeper right here. So you order it, they give you a little beeper right there, and they will beep you when your pizza's ready, and it supposedly works all over the ship. Again, carbs, pizza's not my winner right now, but I do have my included Coke. So let's move on the little tour. So we've seen some of this central area of Deck 7, so now we're going to go back on Deck 7, and we'll talk about some of the other interesting things. Remember that there is no food venue on board that you need to pay for access for, unlike other ships that have a chef's table and different things like that. But each restaurant, and we will tour the restaurants in a little bit, have upcharge items. So you do have upcharge items at each restaurant. Like you've got your coffee bar right here. This is where I say it's kind of similar to a celebrity approach, is that you've got your foods that are included. If you go to Carnival and you go to the coffee bar, they're going to charge you extra for the food items, but they do still charge for the coffee. I don't drink coffee. I wish I drank coffee. I don't drink coffee. But you can see the pricing on coffee. It's actually a lot more reasonable than, say, Starbucks on the Of the Seas ships. So a lot more reasonable than Starbucks on the Of the Seas ships. And something useful they have here is Virgin does have an app that sometimes works, but I think they've realized that, And they have at the coffee shop here, the coffee shop upstairs, at guest services and a couple other places, they have printed daily programs to tell you what's going on and to highlight the 3 big things to see today, which was on the island, because we are in Bimini today, the Untitled Dance Party thing, and Studio 72. But moving on, this is kind of right out of the Solstice class of ships and the Edge class of ships from Celebrity. You have kind of this art hallway. That's right here for some reason. And it's got swings for live, laugh, love, and breathe for some reason. And then we've got some photo booths right here, because remember, again, I want to be very clear, there are no photographers on board, because this is more of a modern rethinking of a ship, and no photographers on board means, hey, you don't got to pay photographers, you don't got to pay for photos. Let's just see. I don't even know how much this photo machine costs. Let's just take a look. Okay, there we go. So just see, post to Facebook for free, share on Twitter for free, share on Instagram for free. You can see it's a very social forward ship. Oh, there's $1 in there. Someone put $1 in there, so I only, 4x6 photo, $5. So yeah, there's actually a photo booth on board. But then we come to one of my favorite places called the Social Club. Now, when we're talking about changes, when the Social Club originally came out, the Social Club was open for very limited hours. Now, when I mean originally, I mean when we sailed in November of 2021, this was open, no joke, for about 10 hours over the entire sailing. And I will tell you now, they have thoroughly fixed this. I'm gonna have my Coke for a second. In thoroughly fixing it, it's open every day from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. And what's great is, this is a place that you can come and you can get some hot dogs. But the dirty secret is they also have chicken wings here. So you have 3 different kinds of hot dogs. You've got pretzels, and you've got both plain and you've got buffalo chicken wings. And if you know anything about what's going on in the world right now, the price of chicken wings has skyrocketed. So chicken wings are like gold. Now, another thing, if you ever watched any of my videos about Carnival, again, there are no kids on board, and we will make it to the normal casino in a minute, but on Carnival, you've got the game room for the kids, which is basically a casino. And what's interesting is Virgin has a free game room for, I guess, the adults. All of these games are on free play, so I should be able to play any of them without needing any tokens, any tickets. Oh, you can't race PvP because one of them's out. But this is a completely free game room. That's got all kinds of different games in there. No need for tokens, no need for quarters. Oh, we've got Tapper. Let's see. Oh, look, now I've inserted a coin. Get ready to serve. Oh no, I guess I lost, but that's what happens when you play Tapper one-handed. Then you've got a nice little hidden tucked away bar. So this nice little hidden tucked away bar is called the Loose Cannon. So this is the Loose Cannon. This is used a lot on Scarlet Night. They do a lot of different things in here on Scarlet Night. If you haven't already checked out my Scarlet Night video, I did post a full guide to Scarlet Night. But this is a Loose Cannon. It's a very small bar. I think the important thing is Virgin is more about small, intimate spaces than giant bars. You are not going to find something like a Sky Lounge or a Royal Lounge or a Princess Lounge that's on top of the boat. And why you're not going to find that is you're not going to find that because they just didn't build it that way. Instead of having one giant bar right where I'm standing right here, you've got a game room, you've got the Social Club, and you've got the Loose Cannon. It's very easy to have put one giant bar right here. But they went ahead and separated it into 3 completely different spaces. And in the Social Club, they do an ice cream game show. So there's an ice cream game show that's done in the Social Club on every sea day, which I actually did participate in the ice cream game show and came in second place because someone said a dairy cow weighs 1,400 pounds. You were guessing how much a dairy cow weighed, and I used Price is Right rules, and I said the dairy cow weighs 69 pounds. And unfortunately, it was 1,450 pounds. But you'll see, even this is the main drag of the ship. And you've just got lounging areas and everything like that. And also, again, all of these, the cake pops, the turtles, all this stuff is included in your voyage fare. So unlike the lower end lines, there's no need to actually pay more once you get on board. But again, that limits their exposure to making money. Now we understand, I think if you know anything about the hospitality industry, you understand that the most profitable thing in the hospitality industry, whether you're on a cruise ship or not, the most profitable thing in the hospitality industry is drinks. So yes, they sell a Heineken draft for $5, but that Heineken draft, I'm talking landed, on board, employee costs, everything like that, their cost is probably 50 cents for that Heineken draft. You know, and it's even higher margin for other things. But we're going into a two-part space right now. It's a very interesting space. It's both an indoor and an outdoor space. This is called the dock house. And there's a lot of events that just kind of pop up in this area that you'll see happen. But again, it's an indoor, outdoor space called the dock house on deck 7. We'll look indoors real quick. So this is the indoors of the dock house, and they will normally play some music here at random times during the day as well as scheduled times during the day. And then the dock house has an outdoor section as well. So we've got an outdoor section right here. And on your way to the outdoor section, you've actually got a juice bar right there. Makes fresh squeezed juices every morning and then has them available throughout the day. And then you've got another one of those, you saw one in the pizza place, but a grab and go station with these sustainable containers. These are not one-use Tupperware. These are nice sustainable containers. And you've got a grab and go station where you can grab and go. Really quite useful. They got everything packaged separately. I will tell you, grab and go is very similar to room service. We did actually wind up ordering room service during this sailing. We didn't actually do it during our past 2 sailings before this sailing, but we ordered room service. Room service actually comes in a really unique way. And that unique way, they come in a bag, stacked up, and it's really quite an interesting experience. There's no waste or anything like that for room service. It's all just stacked up and good to go. But the dock house also has something very unique that you don't see on any other cruise ship in the world, period. And if you know anything about cruising, one of the biggest dangers on a cruise ship is fire. So why the heck would you put a fire on a cruise ship? You know this. The biggest dangers on a cruise ship is fire, and they actually have an outdoor fire grill over here that they make their meats on. Now you can get a grill much closer to yourself if you were to go up to Gun Bay, which is where I'm going to dinner later tonight, but this is an outdoor fire grill, and this gentleman feels right at home cooking right on the fire. Am I wrong?
No, of course.
No, you'd much rather cook on the fire than on the electric grill top. Yeah. And you get to be outside, which sometimes is a good thing, who knows? But that is, you can order those, and again, important, that is all included. They have all kinds of different grilled meats. I think there's even octopus, am I right? There's a squid or an octopus, something like that. There's even octopus that you can go ahead and you can get included in your cruise fare. Now today we are at Bimini. We're actually at Resorts World Bimini, and Resorts World Bimini is where Virgin has put their private island of sorts. So we're at Resorts World Bimini. This is where Virgin has put their private island of sorts, and that is just an area that Bimini, Resorts World Bimini, has agreed to allow Virgin to use when Virgin has a ship in port. Bimini actually rents that out to their own guests or to other cruise ships when people come to Bimini, but Virgin made an agreement to build it to their specifications. So what's really, really, really cool, unlike any other, I'm going to use the little private island. It's not really a private island, it's a little beachfront at Resorts World in Bimini, but unlike any other private island, they do extend the ship's Wi-Fi network, which again is included for everyone. So they extend the ship's Wi-Fi network out to Bimini, which is very useful. And they have a lot of different activities at Bimini, and you're going to notice we're going to go upstairs in a little bit, and you're going to see that the pool is very, very small. And the idea is that Bimini helps to fix that very, very small pool. Well, at least in theory, Bimini helps to fix that very, very small pool with 2 gigantic pools. But like I said, they have some really inventive floats, and they even do at 6 o'clock every day. It's about 5 o'clock right now, but at 6 o'clock on the island every day that the ship's in port, they do a fire lighting ceremony, and they have the band do some singing over on Bimini. But, as I said, we are on the back of Deck 7 right now, and unfortunately, if you do want to watch a sail away from either forward or aft on the lower section of the ship, this is your only option if you are not staying in a suite. Very importantly, there are no room keys on Virgin. It makes things very different. What you'll see is I've got this little wristband. Specifically, my little wristband's red, and you'll see I have a little tap on there. That is just an RFID chip that can be used for charging. All of the crew members have small phones that they use for charging chargeable items. Mainly, when I say chargeable items, I mean drinks. That's about all you'll pay for on board, is you'll pay for drinks. So, you take your wristband, you tap it. Like I said, there are some upgrade items in all the restaurants, but you take your wristband, you tap it for drinks, and you'll see this says red. There is a section of the ship that you can only get into called Richard's Rooftop if you have a black wristband. And that is actually the only way to watch the front of the ship conveniently, is by going there. So they have paywalled one section of the ship, if you want to get really specific. They have paywalled one section of the ship as available for suite guests only. So that's kind of an additional charge you're paying to get on board to get access to that exclusive area. They have champagne there every day, and there is something called Shake for Champagne that you could do as well, and champagne will come to you anywhere. Great upcharge. You just take the app, you shake it. People used to shake it by mistake, and they get a random charge. So now I would ask you, are you sure you want to pay $95 for a bottle of champagne? But you can shake for champagne, and a little guy or girl shows up with a bottle of champagne. But we are right outside the first of the 6 bookable restaurants on board. So I want to talk about the 6 bookable restaurants on board. So we're just going as we get to places on the ship. First of the 6 bookable restaurants on board is called The Wake. Now the entrance for The Wake is on Deck 7, but The Wake in reality is on Deck 6. And The Wake is the steakhouse on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady class of ships so far. So there are 2 ships in the class, and we've got a nice grand staircase. They do have elevators should you need it or be too drunk to go up or down the stairs, because that's always an option. But you'll see it's actually a really big steakhouse, but I will tell you, this steakhouse is best at one specific time, and it's got the best view on the ship when we're moving. We're in Bimini right now, so you won't see it as nicely, but you'll see you can actually see the wake of the ship, and that's why it's called The Wake. Important thing, other than Embarkation Day, so other than the day you get on board or Debarkation Day, the day you get off, actually it is open on Debarkation Day, this is open for brunch. So you can actually get a steakhouse meal for brunch, and the important thing again, it is included. Now in brunch, inside of brunch, they have lunch. Lunch is only available from 12 p.m. to 12:45 p.m. So to get a filet, you have to come during brunch time, which is at 12 to 12:45 p.m. time frame. In order to get a filet, you've got to come in that time frame. I think they also have a flank steak that you can get there, but they have all kinds of different Benedicts and everything like that. And you can see this gentleman is preparing for dinner, right? And you've got, is that the seafood tower, or the beginnings of the seafood tower? No, seafood tower is gigantic, right? So the seafood tower is the upcharge item here. There are actually 2 upcharge items I can remember here, and I will tell you we did one of them. We did the tomahawk steak for dinner here. On our first 4-day sailing, we actually decided to skip the wake, and you're going, you're crazy. Why are you skipping the steakhouse? Well, because you can come here for lunch. That's the important thing. And you can get very similar for lunch. What's actually interesting is shrimp cocktail is on the lunch menu, but shrimp cocktail is not on the dinner menu. Weird, but true. So shrimp cocktail on the lunch menu, but shrimp cocktail not on the dinner menu. But we did get, this was the one restaurant we got an upcharge item in, which was the tomahawk steak. And I will tell you, it was overcooked and refunded. Everything was made right. I hold no ill will against this restaurant, but just the simple metric is, we got a tomahawk medium rare. It was cooked nearly well done. That was a $65 upcharge as of July 2022. So we're traversing back on deck 7. And you'll see along with those cooked foods that they had outside on the open fire, they have a cart in which you can get all kinds of cold foods. So that's the mezzi cart. Oh, you got the strawberry thing. Oh, that is one of my favorites. That's the strawberries and pita, right? And Nutella?
Nah, this is the chocolate hummus.
Oh, that's the chocolate hummus. Okay. Yeah. Uh-oh. She's like, he's talking about food in a cart. I need to know. That's the good food in the cart. He can give you one of those, but. Chocolate hummus. Well, now I'm responsible for a feeding frenzy because people found out that there's food on that cart. Chocolate hummus with strawberries and some pita chips in order to eat the chocolate hummus. So we're going back through kind of where we've already been on the deck 7 area. And we're going to head to essentially one of the most profitable bars on board the ship. Now again, we talk about profits because this ship is sailing at 1/3 to 1/2 full, and they're making most of their money up front with people booking. But when it comes to onboard spend, you need onboard spend somewhere, and you're not making money with $5 Heinekens. So what are you going to make? Well, of course, you're going to make a champagne bar. So we are headed to the champagne bar, which is on deck 7, the other side of deck 7, called the Sip Lounge. So this is the champagne bar. Probably won't be open when we get there, but it's just starting to open up. I think he said around 5, so hey, it may be open right now. So we're gonna take a walk to the champagne bar. All right. So we're just walking back through just to give you some navigation. We're walking back through where we already were. This is deck 7, and we are going towards the champagne bar. So the champagne bar is kind of the champagne bar, but they also do make very, 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 very good cocktails here as well. So we're just walking by, and they should be about ready. Now this is also where they do the fancy tea stuff. So if you do want to get on sea days, they have fancy afternoon tea on sea days. But we've got some remnants of the fancy tea, and we've got all of the champagne. These are $95 or $100-something a bottle, and I don't even want to know what the big bottle cost. You guys stock the big bottle on board?
We do have the magnums.
What does that cost?
That costs about
$1,500?
That's incorrect. That's $190.
$190?
For magnum.
Oh, okay. So that's a magnum of that one?
That's a magnum of this one.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so it's not as much as I thought it was. Very cool. But this is also a good cocktail bar if you want to come to a cocktail bar as well. And what comes through here, I don't actually have a video of one in here, but what comes through here are a lot of the interactive activities that are not scheduled. So I want to give you an idea on what one of those happens to be like.
rushing tide, separate from their better half. Now after a while, my waters calm to a crawl, and I felt bad and all, but there was nothing I could really do. You see, I'm not in charge of the flow, that is the moon's job though. So I'm called out for a favor that I'm owed. Bring these two together, closer and forever, make the journey the kind of thing we sing about when we're dancing underneath the stars. The same old stars we've always seen, overseeing everything. We seem to know the time enough when we need a wish. And right now I wish for the kindness to bring us back together. It may be impossible, but whatever. I'm the mouth of the river, and I sing, ooh. I'm the mouth of the river, and I sing, ooh. I'm the mouth of the river, and I sing, ooh. I'm the mouth of the river, and I sing,
What are your names, by the way? Patty and Mike. So happy to meet you too. Enjoy your dinner with me.
All right, so moving on from here, we're going to take a look at the main theater. And I will tell you, entertainment kind of happens all over. But this is the main theater of the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, and likely the Valiant as well. I don't see why it wouldn't be for both. This is called the Red Room. Richard's Red Room. And this is the main theater. And they think of it as a theater. I'll tell you what I call it. What I call it's a little insulting, but it's actually what it is. It's a high school gymnasium. Essentially, they've built a gigantic high school gymnasium, and that high school gymnasium transforms. You'll see right now it should actually be in gymnasium floor only mode, which it is. It is set up for something this evening called the Untitled Dance Party. And you'll see there's a giant murdered whale on the stage. There's a giant murdered whale on the stage. You will see your starboard, your port. They've got a giant moving stage. And that's the Untitled Dance Party. Now they also have another production in here called Ships in the Night, which was available on our first cruise but was canceled on our second cruise. So it was available on our July 3rd cruise but canceled on our July 8th cruise due to the health of one of the performers, is exactly what the app said. And they have another show called Dual Reality. interesting is each of these shows have a slightly different layout that happens to this room. It is a multi-purpose room, and they have a slightly different layout, meaning, but if you look straight ahead, for dual reality, chairs actually come out of that stage. Chairs come out, a lot of chairs come out from right where I'm standing right now. This is the control booth right here. But a lot of chairs come out from right where I'm standing right now and create a giant stage for different things. So they actually have at least 3 different layouts. So again, there are at least 3 different layouts available for this theater to be used. It's kind of a multi-purpose space. They call it innovative theater. Again, I call it a high school gymnasium. Weird, yes, but that's what I call it. So we're going to move on. We're taking a look at all of Deck 7, and I do apologize that it's taken a while to look at all of Deck 7, but that's where the most interesting things are. It's on Deck 7. So now we are going to go down to Deck 6. Oh, wait, I forgot. There's one more interesting thing that I would say probably well over 70 or 80% of people never find on board this ship. And it's called the Groupie. And no, it's not for what you would imply it's for. It's not for group, well, it is for group fun, but you know, it's called the Groupie, and what it is it is the private karaoke room. So if we go in here, we'll take a look real quick. Oh, I didn't expect magic doors. I got all kinds of props and decoration. But what you've got is a fully private karaoke room that you can use, and let's see if anybody, they've got open. But let's take a look. Purple room. Nobody signed up for the purple room, and so it is right now 5 p.m. You can see they have a sign-up sheet, and you can actually sign up for each room. So there's the purple room, open from 11 a.m. to midnight. The blue room, and this one. Now, back in the day before they started using different areas, they used to actually do some private shows and hidden entertainment in these rooms. But right now we've just got karaoke. So let's take a look at how that works. We're going into the purple room. And there's no one in here. So this is something really unique. It's kind of an Asian inspired thing, and we'll take a look here. See if we can focus. Catalog. How come you don't call me? Don't leave. I'm looking for something I know. Oh God. Baby, I don't care. I don't want to go clean. Please don't. Please don't. I've never heard of any of these songs. Might be dating myself. Tonight I'm yours. Ricky, don't lose that number. Oh my. Playlist. Okay. Let's just take a look. See what we can find here. K-pop. Pride. Good. 80s rewind. Oh my. That looks to not be in English. Maybe I'm crazy. Let's see if we can find anything else. 90s party. Crazy by Seal. Dreams. Well, some of you may recognize some of these songs, but I don't recognize any of these songs. Oh wait. I got Backstreet Boys featuring Dr. Dre. I don't recognize any of these songs. I guess I'm not not the target demographic for this room. One Hit Wonders. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay. I got this one. And I should just be able to click on play song right here. And it's Kung Fu Fighting. And you just grab the microphone, and it should start playing the music. Maybe.
3, 2, 1. Whoa. Everybody knew that
I'm sorry to subject you to that pain, but that was a bit of kung fu fighting in the private karaoke room. So we're on deck 7. We're going to head to deck 6. We're going to head to deck 5, and we're going to take a look around. We got a little bit left on this tour, but that is another thing that's completely free, and you can order drinks to that room, and the goal is, again, to get that drink spend up. So, we are down on deck 6 right now, which for most cruise ships, we're going to go into one of the most profitable areas on board, which is the casino. A lot of cruise ships make a lot of money in the casino. But I will tell you something very unique about this casino. Strangely unique about this casino. It is, believe it or not, a non-smoking casino. But if you are a smoker, there is actually a secret smoking room. Ooh. So the secret smoking room is right here. I'm going to back up and let the door close. I want to show you where it is. So this is the first floor of the main theater. If you are a smoker, I am not a smoker, but I think the secret smoking room is really cool because it's not displayed anywhere. The entire casino is actually non-smoking, and then you have the secret smoking room that I can open that way. And you'll see, ooh, doors open and close, and that's the smoking room that also has some casino games in it as well. So, kind of cool. Oh, and it's going to stay open for me. All right. So this is the casino, which is non-smoking. Very important. Not a huge casino, not a tiny casino. Probably, if we're being completely honest, the casino is one of the biggest spaces on board because Virgin is all about small, intimate spaces, small, intimate dining venues, small, intimate things like that. So the casino is actually one of the biggest places on board the ship. Weird but true. So you'll see. And then right inside of the casino, we've got one of the most Instagrammed locations on board, which is the Manor, and specifically the entrance to the Manor. This is their nightclub, which unlike every other ship, they don't have to check if you're over 18 to get in this nightclub. Why don't they have to check if you're over 18 to get in this nightclub? Because everybody on board is over 18. Also, another interesting note, this does have to do with money as well. The drinking age on board is 18, not 21. So once they're at sea, it's 18 and not 21. But we're going to go in. We're going to take a look at the entrance to the Manor, which is, again, one of the most Instagrammable, Snapchatable, whatever locations on the ship. This is real. This is real life, not a static picture. Kind of looks like a fun house right there. Woohoo! This is the Manor, and this is the nightclub on board, but they also do a drag show in here, and they have something called the VHS show, which is a workout class. They have the drag show.
Without any further ado, here is my TED Talk. Hit it.
I wanna see you peacock, cock, you peacock, cock, you peacock, cock, you peacock.
Like with anything else in this world, there's more than one way to skin a cat. But in order to deglove this pussy, let's take things back to basics. Tucking is the act of hiding the crotch bulge created by the penis and testicles in order to render them inconspicuous through clothing. Most commonly employed by transgender women, assigned male or non-binary persons, and clown fuckers like me. First and foremost, the testicles or testes if you're nasty are pushed up into the inguinal canals, which are two passages in the lower anterior abdominal wall. Naturally, during the cremasteric reflex, the scrotum is pulled close to the body. You can feel visceral sensations like a cold touch or a date with yours truly. Now, as for everything else, the dingle-dangles in your nether regions, that get snatched, pulled, and tucked back to Kathmandu and secured by any means necessary. You should have something that looks like this. And you can secure all of that in place using glue, tape, or a pair of your mom's tights from the 90s. Remember, tucking can be painful, but eventually you do begin to lose all sensation.
They have the VHS workout class.
Whatever you want, and you're just gonna shake it, alright? But be creative. And you ready? 1, 2, 3, go, shake it. There it is. You can do it fast or slow, it doesn't matter, you know? How do you like to shake it, Philip? How about you? Long and hard.
And they have no strings attached, which is Virgin's version of the dating game, the newlywed game, other things of that sort.
Jared and Jordan. Obsessed. And you guys, I'm feeling really hot sitting between you. Are they making you feel hot? Yeah, they're making me feel hot too. Okay, so I was wondering if you would help us demonstrate our next NSA principle of FIRE, which stands for Fearless Independence, Relaxed and Erotic. Audience, do they have the fire? Then I was wondering if you consent to help us fan the flames of fire in this room and inspire everyone to really go for it tonight. So if you consent, we would like for you to make out for us right now. Everybody say tits, puppets, tits, tits, puppets, tits.
So that's the idea. We're not going to go all the way in there because they happen to be practicing right now, but it's Virgin's version of the newlywed game that they have on board is the no strings attached show. If you're worried about what it is, it's worded way worse than it actually is just to keep people from complaining. It's not really anywhere as bad as it says. All right. So, moving on, we're going back out through the casino. And we've got the shop area. Now, the shop area is a little bit unique on Virgin. They take some humorous liberties here, but we will take a look. Now, one of the most unique shops on board is actually a tattoo parlor. Now, I'm not one that gets tattoos myself, but their majority of their demographic of what they have on board are people that may be interested in getting a tattoo. So there's a tattoo parlor called Squid Ink on board. You'll see it right here. And we can take a peek in real quick. We won't get anybody's tattoo or anything like that, but that just give you a quick peek at what's going on in there. And they have some merchandise available as well. You do want to make sure, let's see if there's anything specifically Squid Ink that's cool. None of those are specifically Squid Ink, but you do want to make sure, if you do want to get a tattoo while on board, you want to book that essentially immediately once you get on board. Immediately, because that books up within hours of the ship beginning sailing. Now, another kind of unique store they have is the duty-free shop, which sells cigarettes and sells liquor, and they don't call it a duty-free store, they call it a booty-free store. I guess, just because. That's why they call it a booty-free store. But the main area where you've got music and things going on at night, the live music performing area, is actually called On the Rocks. And this is On the Rocks right down here. This is the bar that's open till about 2 a.m. and has live music till between 1:30 and 2 a.m. every single evening. So you'll see we've got right here, we've got them kind of setting up the live music right there. So this is called On the Rocks. That's where you have that live music every single evening. Even on Embarkation evening, it went till like 2:15, so the night we got on board. Now, with this being the central roundabout, they also do something here called the Seahorse Race. And the Seahorse Race is actually great. It's actually run through the casino. You can buy a seahorse. You buy a seahorse at auction for $250 minimum, and then you race that seahorse, and the prize pot is the combination of all the seahorses bought minus 10%. But as of right now, along with that seahorse, you get a bottle of bourbon, and you get to keep the actual seahorse itself. We played it twice because we run back to back. I played it the first cruise, my traveling companion played it the second cruise, and he won. I didn't, but we're still up. So and the seahorse was just played with gambling money, won from the casino as well, so not a big deal. Now, we are in the area of the gift shops right now. So being in the area of the gift shops are closed right now, but this is the logo shop. You can kind of see this is where they have all of the Virgin and the Virgin Cruise Line logo wear. Virgin Voyages logo wear. Again, they love when you wear that because you're literally paying to advertise their brand. I know that sounds crazy, but people are paying to advertise their brand. And you've got kind of the traditional cruise ship stores on board. You've got this side that's more of like the clothing side. You've got some jewelry there, very similar to the traditional cruise ship stores, but they are only on one level. On a lot of ships, what they'll have is they'll have them on 2 levels, or they'll have them on a main drag, different things like that. But remember, if you know anything about shops on board, the main goal of the shops on board is to get you to go from here, this place where you can buy logo merchandise, to here. This place where you can buy $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 Tag Heuer watches. Remember, that's the main goal, is to get people to go from the proverbially, I know some of you might not see it as cheap, but the proverbially, $20, $30 shirts to the $3,000, $4,000 watches. And to show you, the brand store has actually grown into 2 brand stores. So you used to have 1 brand store. When I sailed the first time, this store right here was actually a gadget store, but it's turned into a Virgin brand store as well. They used to have some really cool gadgets from, actually, believe it or not, from the MoMA, from the Museum of Modern Art. They had a lot of really cool gadgets they had in the MoMA art store, because I have had a lot of those myself. So we are coming upon the second of the 6 restaurants. We're going to hit these restaurants in pretty quick succession. The second of the 6 restaurants we're looking at is called Extra Virgin, and it is the Italian restaurant on board. And when I show you these restaurants, I want to kind of tell you what not to miss. I will tell you, steakhouse, lunch, go for lunch, which is between, that's the wake, go between 12 and 12:45 any day except Embarkation Day, or the day you get off, because you'll be off before 12. Extra Virgin is the Italian place. Now, on sea days in Extra Virgin, they have something called Aperitivo with the Foodie, which is kind of a happy hour before they open. And you can come in, you can have appetizers and drinks, regardless if you have this booked for dinner or not. That's only available on the sea days, but regardless if you have this booked for dinner or not, you can come and you can have appetizers. But the best thing here, in my opinion, there are 2 absolutely fantastic things here. I will tell you what they are. Number 1, the meatballs. The meatballs are fantastic. And number 2, the oxtail. You would think that oxtail doesn't really belong in an Italian restaurant, but the meatballs and the oxtail, and they do make all of their pasta on board if you do want to get pasta on board. And they have a front of house kitchen where they're actually building dinner right now. We're about an hour out from dinner, and you'll see this is where they build dinner up. All right, so that is Extra Virgin. Again, not open for lunch, only open for dinner. And when you finish your meal at Extra Virgin, you do get a complimentary shot of limoncello. Now, you don't get that if you just come for the appetizers, but if you come for a dinner at Extra Virgin, you get a complimentary shot of limoncello. Kind of cool. Well, so we're leaving Extra Virgin now, and we are in the midship right now. So we're on deck 6 midship, and we actually have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different restaurants right in this area. So what we're doing is we're just kind of crossing where the elevators are, and we're going to see the second of the restaurants in this area, and the third of the restaurants overall. So the second of the restaurants in this area, third of the restaurants overall, I believe, is called the Test Kitchen. So the Test Kitchen is a kind of inventive thing. They only give you a baseline menu. So you get a baseline menu every day of what's going to be coming. They do have, at this point in time, 2 different menus, but there is a baseline menu which just gives you the ingredients. And some of the ingredients are coming right now. So she's bringing in ingredients. But you get a baseline menu that gives you the ingredients. Tonight is mushroom, egg, scallops, venison or beef, and blue cheese is your baseline menu. The lights really change some of the camera perspective here, but they have open kitchens here. So a lot of the dishes are being prepared in the open kitchens right here, and they do have multiple menus on different days, so you should definitely ask about that. But a perfect example, you can see she is prepping the drink stand right there. One of the very cool things, this is one of the few restaurants, you can also do it kind of in razzle-dazzle with an all-you-can-drink fashion, but you can get cocktail pairings. So you can pair beer, wine. So beer is $25 as of July 2022. Wine is $35, cocktails are $35, and non-alcoholic cocktails are $25. You can pair any of those 4 options with a meal, and then you get 6 drinks along with your meal that are paired for each and every course. So, interesting perspective, and I will tell you something once we get out of here about that. So, why might you want to do something like that? Well, because if somebody goes ahead and buys a cocktail with dinner, if you remember, we talked about how much, when you're talking about, can virgins survive with a half full ship, with a third full ship, with a quarter full ship? When you buy a cocktail with dinner, you are subsidizing the cost of the dinner. Filet at a large volume might cost them $5 per filet. I think Royal Caribbean's getting a little bit cheaper. Just giving you an idea, they're buying hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of fillets at a time. No, definitely thousands of fillets at a time. Might cost them $5 per fillet, but if you buy a drink that's an $11 drink that has a $9 profit margin, well, you just covered the cost of your fillet. Now, there's not a huge profit in there, but the more drinks you sell, the better. So if you're getting a conversion, kind of think of it, I know everyone out here has shopped for an Apple product before, maybe, unless you're a Samsung person. They want Apple employees to attach Apple Care at a 75% rate to all iPhone sales, because iPhones are essentially sold at a very small profit, but extended warranties have a huge profit. So think of it like this. You can go to the test kitchen, you can eat in the test kitchen, you can have a nice filet, which is actually a sous vide filet, beautiful filet. You can have that, and if you order that drink pairing, they've actually made money on that meal. Because the beer that they're charging $25 for probably costs them about $3 or $4. The cocktails, maybe $5 for all of them. So you're looking at a $20, $30 profit there. Now the next restaurant we're going to is actually the Vegetarian Forward restaurant. Now, I go vegetarian forward and everybody goes, what are you talking about? So this is called Razzle Dazzle, and it's the restaurant with the best story on board. It's actually real. You've probably heard of the phrase razzle dazzle them before. This is what they used to do with the British military ships to scramble them from radar, is they would paint them like this. And what's really cool is these are real pictures, and that's an homage to what's going on. You see that homage is shown right there. And that is the whole design of the entrance of Razzle Dazzle. So beautiful entrance, beautiful design. We're not going to break in today, but this is the Vegetarian Forward restaurant. Now there are secret meat dishes, but it is vegetarian forward. So it is primarily designed for those that are vegetarians. So kind of cool that they have that option available as a vegetarian forward restaurant. They have a secret steak, they have chicken sandwich, they have a lot of stuff. They had to add a lot of meat dishes because people aren't going to go to what's primarily considered a vegetarian restaurant. Recommendations here: get the bacon and get the churros. The bacon and the churros are my 2 favorite things on the menu here. Love the bacon, love the churros. Those are the 2 best things. And for a drink, they have a very unique drink here. I will tell you something Virgin does is they don't have a pina colada maker in every bar on board. I think it's important to understand. You want a pina colada, you go to the pool deck. But they have a place, they make grasshoppers here, and they put actual crickets in your grasshopper drink. And yeah, that's a thing. But right down here on deck 5, right outside of our 5th restaurant? Yeah, that was the 4th restaurant. The 5th, right outside of the 5th restaurant is Sailor Services, or Guest Relations, or Guest Services, or whoever you want to call it. You've got that right there. We'll let them come on through. So you've got Sailor Services right there. And we've got them right there. People are closing out their bill and everything. And like I said, this is another place you can pick up a printed daily program if you wanted a copy of a printed daily program. And it brings us to the number 5 restaurant on board, which is the most popular restaurant, which is called Pink Agave. Really cool entrance, kind of one of those other Instagrammable entrances per se. But we've got Pink Agave right here. I'll take my little hey, Instagram post. No. We got pink agave right here. Now here's what you get here. The steak and the duck are absolutely amazing here. I also really do like the shrimp appetizer. But the steak and the duck, and here's what's really cool about pink agave. Pink agave, specifically on this ship and their second ship right now, as of July 2022, pink agave has the largest tequila and mezcal collection at sea. So the largest tequila and mezcal collection at sea is had right at Pink Agave on board. They have a bunch of different drinks, and they actually even have a seminar on tequila and mezcal. Now, during that seminar, I actually had very strong mezcal for the first time, and my face was really not liking it. It's kind of amusing when you see 50 people try mezcal at the exact same time. But this is where they actually do the seminar. It's right inside of the restaurant right here. And you'll see if you want to get an idea on how large their collection is, they actually have it nice and locked up under lock and key, because some of this stuff is really expensive. I don't know tequila and mezcal well enough to know what is really expensive, but I will tell you I had a cocktail here last night, and I had Terramana in my cocktail, and that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's tequila. But again, having a collection of this size allows you to charge for drinks. The main way that Virgin is making their APD onboard spend, their average per person per day onboard spend go up, is with drinks. Again, you cannot get a drink package unless you're in their highest level suite, which there are just very few of them. And what they've got is they've actually got like a wristband that's tied around their wrist that they really watch what's going on there. So we're at the midship right now, and we've explored deck 6 and 7, which are the main passenger decks. But I want to talk about one place that we can't go, and then we're going to go up. So we're going to take a look at the map. We're going to take a look where we've been. We're going to talk about one place that we can't go, and I do actually happen to have some video of that I want to show you. But it's interesting that we can't go there. So you'll see that we've taken a look at, we've been on deck 5. We've taken a look at the spa. We actually haven't taken a look at. Maybe we'll pop in there. Spa, sailor services, cabins, toilets, razzle dazzle, pink agave, more toilets. We looked at test kitchen, the shops, the casino, on the rocks, the den we haven't looked at. We saw the smoking room, the red room, extra virgin, and the manor. 7, we saw the roundabout, the loose cannon, the dock and the dock house, the social club and arcade, the sip lounge, the wake, the manor, the draft house, the groupie, and the red room. And you see 8 through 14 is just VIP and suites, but there's one interesting little thing right here on deck 4. Now, there's a place on deck 4 that never really opened with this ship, and there are some videos that exist that I'm going to insert. They actually made, in the days of the C word, this is weird, but they actually made a medically themed bar in which you would take your drinks out of IV bags. It was called IV. And it never opened with the ship because the ship opened in a post-C word day that it wasn't acceptable. I cannot show you anything that I've taken personally, but I have actually found some video of what goes on down in IV. It's not something that's been open since passengers have been on board, but some crew posted some video back in the day. So take a look.
Is it a bar? What's the bar called?
I don't know what this bar is called, actually. This is the first time I've seen it on display like this. It's very cute.
Oh, and the cup's a little specimen. That's a nice bar. So what they've done on this boat is there's not only big bars, there's little intimate areas and they've got lots of them all over the boat. There's no way that on a 5-day cruise you could cover the whole boat.
Never could get to every show.
No.
There's over 22 eateries. You can't even eat at every venue.
If you tried.
Yeah. But look at the infirmary seats of this bar.
I love that.
So this is a cool walkway.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just take a look at the spa real quick. Tiny spa, maybe bigger in the back. But oh yeah, it goes a lot bigger in the back, right? Is it open now? Okay, she's gonna let us take a look at the spa. And this is One World, or who? Oh, this is One World. Okay, so this is run by Old Steiner, which is One World. And then this is the back area back here, which, correct me if I'm wrong, you can buy like a pass for the whole cruise for this, and the suites have a pass or something like that. So the suites have a pass for the thermal suite. There's no one back here right now, so she said, come on and take a look, and you've got cold pools and warm pools and everything like that, right? Is the salt room back working? That's what everybody wants to know. The internet has been clamoring. Is the salt room back working? I don't know anything about the spa, but I just know that's what the internet has been clamoring. Hey, I don't want to destroy my camera, but let's just 10 seconds. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not going to destroy the camera lens going in the salt room, but yes, just FYI, for everyone that asks on the internet, the salt room is back working. Who would have thought? Thank you very much. The salt room is back working, and they've got cold pools and warm pools, and they even have a secret performance in here during Scarlet Night. If you happen to get invited to the secret performance in here, they do ask that you don't take photos or videos in the secret performance that happens in Scarlet Night, right in the spa. But again, the spa is run by One World, is run by Steiner Leisure, formerly Steiner Leisure, now One World, who ran a lot of cruise ship spas across the entire cruise ship industry. I think they run everyone on the major cruise lines. So that is another philosophy in how you make money once you're on board. You can buy those spa services directly in the app, and the spa also does run a haircut place, which my traveling companion got a haircut on the first day of our 10-day voyage. I think his haircut was around $40, so not bad. And the interesting thing from a One World Steiner perspective, if you do go to the spa, if you are a spa user on board, you have, again, you should always gratuitize, but you have a gratuity built in to the spa services. So that's very beneficial. Now we're going up. There's nothing really on decks. We're going to ride up to 15. There's really nothing on deck 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What? 14, 15, and 16 is where we've got the rest of what's going on board the Scarlet Lady. 8 through 14 are passenger decks, passenger cabin decks in 8 through 14. Deck 15. So, let's continue. And again, the spa is there because it raises your average spend per person per day once they are on board. Now, we are now going to be going outside on deck 15 to one of the most, after the salt room, no, I'm kidding, one of the most controversial things on board, which, believe it or not, is the pool. Now, this is not the main pool right here. This is actually the hot tub. It's a hot tub, but I want to bring you out to the main pool. Now, the main pool has a very good use on Scarlet Night. They use it as an actual stage, but we've got the main pool right here, and oh my. Now, the main pool might be empty right now because everybody's out in Bimini and there's 2 gigantic pools. So I guess Virgin's logic does hold up for Bimini. Virgin's logic 100% does hold up for Bimini, that everybody just goes out and uses the pool out there. One of the other nice things is they do have drafts all over. Can I get a Heineken? Draft Heineken? Yeah. So they do have drafts all over the boat, and just to show you how payment works, because we haven't really shown that yet, is they just tap their little reader on your wrist, which is an RFID tab. These taps are actually awesome because they pour the beer automatically. So what he'll do is he'll just type in Heineken and give me a little tap when it's ready.
There you go.
They just have these little cell phones that hopefully they can tap on. It is frozen. I'll try the beer anyway. But up here they do have all the frozen drinks already prepared, the pina colada, the strawberry daiquiri, things of that sort. Still frozen? I'm just gonna take a look at the pool deck real quick. So again, more of the pool deck. You'll see this is again for Scarlet Night, set up as much more of a production. There's a giant octopus that comes out here. There's a DJ up there, and you have your control booth right there. This is right above the bar on deck 16, which is the absolute best place to sit for Scarlet Night. Still loading? Oh, we're good? So he just taps this little brand right here, which is a little RFID reader. Maybe. Work? And we're done. So that is for your room, that is for charges for drinks, and for other things of the sort. But there is the tiny, tiny, tiny pool. But we're gonna take a walk on up the stairs real quick, and go up to deck 16, where there's a very, 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 in my opinion, interesting paywall on deck 16. So what is a paywall? Well, a paywall is a nice way of saying a segregation. They found a way to actually segregate passengers, meaning that, you know, if you pay more to be on board, you have access to different areas on board. I've been walking around for an hour. I'm gonna put down the camera for a second, and I might just shotgun my beer here. So, we are on deck 16 right now. Woo. We're on deck 16 right now. Got a lot of Heineken left. Hydration time. Heineken and Strongbow are what they have all over. They have some specialty beers in the draft house, which is actually kind of where we started out this tour about an hour and 15 minutes ago. Now, talking more about the logistics before we move on. Actually, let's move on. So, if you remember when we were in the back of deck 7, I said that's really the only place you can watch the ship go in and out of port. And that is actually true, because I want to show you what happens if you try to go to the front of the boat. So what we're going to do is we're going to transition over to the front right now. So we're just taking a walk. This is the pool from above. The least crowded I've seen it since I happened to be on board back to back. So, very tiny pool, because right in the middle of that pool is actually the real pool. We've got an area where a DJ would be right here. Some nice little sitting areas. This is a smoking section on the outside. We saw the smoking section on the inside. They have a couple of DJ stands on board. This is one of the DJ stands. Save water, drink champagne. They'll set up the DJ right there. I think the DJ's on the island right now, or was on the island for most of the day, and now is napping. This is something that's still open, very limited hours. I did try it, very healthy. This is the Sun Club Cafe, which has poke bowls available for everybody. But here's where we started talking about a paywall. This is called Richard's Rooftop. Richard's Rooftop is only available for suite guests. So I don't have a black wristband, and in not having a black wristband, I actually cannot see off the front of this ship in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of interesting. You'd have to tap your band there, and mine will probably say, like Newman, access denied.
You didn't say the magic word.
Please! God damn it! Hate this hacker crap.
Didn't say the magic word. Access denied. Didn't say the magic word. So we've got that, and again, that is the only way. That is the only way on board to get to the front of the ship is by being in the Rockstar areas, per se. It's the only way on board to get up to the front. They have different champagne. Oh, look, I've entered the area. That's the other access there. But just so you see, some ships have much bigger areas than this reserve. There are no special restaurants or anything like that, just for the suite guests. There are no special restaurants. All they have is this area right in the front of the ship. And they've got an extra hot tub up there. They've got an extra bar up there. You can kind of see through the cracks in the fence. It's not a solid fence. You can kind of see what's up there, but it's also the only way if you want to see for sail in or sail out. You want to see what's going on. That is the only way to see what's going on, and that is called Richard's Rooftop, named after Richard Branson, not Richard No Pants. But what we're going to do, we're going to transition over to the last dining venue area, and where I'm going to be having dinner this evening. But I don't want to go out on the pool deck again because it's way too hot. So we're on deck 16. We're traversing down to deck 15, and then we're going to go to deck 14. We're going to walk the passenger corridor back to the buffet. We'll talk about some of the different cabins. So we're on deck 15. We're going to take it down one more level to deck 14. All right. So, you have many different classes of cabins on board the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, all the way from single solo insider cabins to cabins for up to 4 people that are small inside cabins, which I would not want to stay in. So you've got inside cabins, you've got single inside cabins, you've got cabins that are literally made for like a girls trip where you can fit 4 people in. You've got ocean view cabins, you've got sea terrace cabins, you've got central sea terrace cabins, and you've got central sea terrace XL cabins. Then you have all kinds of different suites leading up to the massive 2-story suites with an outdoor hot tub. Now, various difference in cabins. What makes Virgin very different? Again, they include tips, they include sodas, they include a lot of different things that would not be included on a traditional, per se, cruise fare. They include Wi-Fi, they include tips, they include sodas, they include all of your specialty dining, they include everything. What scares me from a profit perspective, and I'm going to flash this up on screen so you can see it, is they are literally advertising and selling their cruises right now for less than they're saying you get in extras. They're saying you get $600 in extras. The way the cruises are sold is the cabins are sold is on a per cabin basis, and each cabin has a capacity. So you're paying taxes and fees per sailor because you have to, but the cabins are actually sold on a per cabin basis. So we do happen to be back in the midship now, and we're going to go to the not a buffet called the Galley. Nobody likes to call this a buffet, but in the end of the day, it's a buffet. Talk about how it was originally supposed to work, how it works now, give you an idea of some of the food available. They opened at 5 o'clock. It is now 15 minutes to 6. Where are we? Okay, so we're going to go up one deck. You can see we are still in Bimini. Really cool feature of the elevators, because it does actually tell you where you are, departure time, everything like that. But let's see, we're going up. We're on deck 15, and this is the Galley. It's open from about 6 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. every night for normal food. And the nice thing about the Galley, you can still get breakfast 24 hours a day. So I've had breakfast at 3, 4, 2, 5 in the morning. Well, 5 in the morning is kind of a normal time to have breakfast, but had breakfast at all kinds of different hours over these last 10 days, and breakfast is always available. You've also got your grab and go. So this is the entrance to the Galley that we're going into. You'll see the Galley. You got your grab and go section for oranges, bananas, and silverware. Again, all of these reusable containers here. Again, this saves them on packaging costs of needing to make boxes, and it also saves the environment. So it's kind of a really cool ability to save on packaging costs while also saving the environment. And we've got a whole map of the Galley right here. So where are we coming in? You are here. We need a you are here. No, I don't see a you are here. Oh, you are here. There we go. So we'll see we are here. They have a beverage station, which I'll show you. Sushi, popsicles, diner, burger, desserts, more stuff. And we got grab and go. We've got another coffee bar. We've got more grab and go. We've got the taco place, which is amazing. Noodle Around, which is where you get the secret duck ramen. And hot off the press where you get the paninis. But I'm going to tell you, I've been outside. I am sweating. It is time for a popsicle. So we're going to go to Pop Star is where we're going to eventually head. But let's take a look. The nice thing is they do have soda on draft. Let me translate that to you. They have mixers on draft up here 24 hours a day. So, you know, read that as you will. They have mixers. If you have liquor, they have mixers. And there are these little machines right here that you can get Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Coke Zero, Fanta, and cigarettes. One of my big disappointments, I'll be honest with you, one of my big disappointments in coming back to Virgin Voyages, and it is actually a supplier problem, is they used to have, when we sailed in November of 2021, they used to actually have British Coke, which is made with sugar instead of corn syrup, British Fanta, which is made with sugar instead of corn syrup. It doesn't look nuclear in color. Unfortunately, due to supplier issues, they have gone back to American Coke, so I have to drink corn syrup if I want to drink Coke. But the idea of this is This is the sushi place. We're going to go through all the different venues in here. This is the sushi place. It's called Bento Baby. We'll see it right here. Grab and go sushi, included in your fare. I do not eat sushi, but my friends who do say it's acceptable sushi. You know, avocado roll, sushi roll combo. Again, I don't drink sushi, so I don't really know anything at all. Ooh, that one I might eat if it didn't have seaweed, but that's the prawn tempura roll. And this is at the Bento restaurant. Next thing we got, and one of my favorites on board, is the popsicles. And what flavors do we have today? Pineapple thyme, guava pina, mango tamarind. These are kind of like if you've ever been to one of the places that serve paletas. That's the new phase of things, is these fruit juice things that they will kind of have real fruit and different things in them. I would love to eat one right now, but I can't hold that, my soda, everything like that. I'll get one later. And then you've got, this is what's open 24 hours a day right in front of us. It's called Diner and Dash. So Carnival has done cutbacks. Royal Caribbean has done cutbacks to their pizza place. Their pizza place on board this ship, and this is not a cutback, their pizza place on this ship has always been open until 1:30 a.m. But Diner and Dash, which is a place to get breakfast food all day, has always been open 24 hours a day. And when I'm trading stocks, as you know, some of you may not know, this is No Pants Profits. It's a finance channel that's only gone to cruise ships because nobody really wants to talk about the market right now. But when I'm trading stocks at 4 in the morning, I'll come up here about 4:15 and get myself a nice little omelet. This is available 24 hours a day. You'll see all these different things right here available 24 hours a day. And then we've got the burger bar, and the burger is of the day. No special burger. Is there a special burger today? No. Not today. Okay. So just the normal burgers today. And this is the only section that's like a buffet, where you literally say, I want this, you point to this, and they get this for you. And you've got all the different desserts. Right there. And I will tell you, I guarantee those of you who have watched my channel before will not be surprised. This is a place I've not visited the entire cruise. This is the salad bar. I don't do salad bars. You can tell. This is the salad bar. But if you are a healthy person and like salad, they've got salad here. And then I just learned they also have, what's the soup of the day, boys? What? Parsnip soup. And it's cold or hot? It's hot. Okay. Might try that a bit later. They have a parsnip soup today. But you'll see we've got that there. Now, I will tell you the dirty secret about the desserts is they're not made on board. They buy the desserts. You can't say that out loud, but they actually leave the things on. They buy them from a place in Miami, and most cruise ships do. But it's a lot more apparent here because what you'll see is they still leave the handles on. But it's one of those things that makes you go, ha 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 ha. You know, they buy. Oh, they do make some of them, you know, when you're looking at like the normal restaurants and stuff like that. But for this, they don't. Now, right now, how you eat from here is you actually order, you sit down, someone will come over with a little pad and will take your order on their phones. Every crew member on board the Virgin Voyages ships is issued a phone, and that phone is kind of their little lifeline. It's a little Motorola phone. You saw it be used a couple minutes ago when someone tapped my bracelet, but they can use it to charge you for drinks, but they can also use it to order food, to get room service orders, to do their own time cards, to do crew trainings. They have their schedules on there. They know when they're going to work and everything like that. It's one of the first cruise lines to do that. They provide the crew with a device that is literally their lifeline at every point in time, which is kind of cool. Now, so you will order on there, and then what happens is at every one of these different stations, this is more like a food hall than a buffet, because you can't go up and order from most of these places. But at every one of these stations, there's a small little printer that will print out and then tell the guy or the lady working here what's going on. But the original concept, you can actually see some of the original concept sitting right here, was very similar to the pizza place. They had the ability, you'd come up here, you'd order, and they'd call you. But what they didn't want right now in the time of the magic C word, which they didn't want right now, is lines of people waiting next to each other and potentially spreading things. So right now, you sit down, you order on your little tablets, and that was a creation to do that. But we have 2 more places to go, but I'll tell you, the last place we're going to finish is actually where I'm having dinner tonight. So we're not going to go there quite yet. So what we're doing is we're exiting out the back of the food hall. We're exiting out the back of the food hall, and we are going towards deck 16, which is only accessible from here, which is the aft. It's only accessible from here via stairs, but you can go to the midship and ride an elevator all the way up to deck 16. And you'll see we are at Resorts World Bimini. If I turn around, this is still deck 15. This is Resorts World Bimini. It was a dock that was mainly built for Virgin, and the Virgin Resort is all the way down there to the left. If you had a periscope zoom, you might be able to see it, but the Virgin place is all the way down there to the left, and they actually have a little tram that will bring you in and bring you out to the resort or to the casino that's on the island. It's kind of an interesting thing that they allow you to go to a competitor's casino while you're on there sailing. Now, I will tell you, these last 10 days, I've had a very good time in the casino. I don't need the government knowing how good of a time, but I've had a very good time in the casino over the past 10 days. But we're going to take it to the second and last stop. We do have to go one flight of stairs. We're going from the Galley, which is the not buffet, more of a food hall than a buffet, to the distinguishing feature of the Scarlet Lady, which is the net. And the net is open, and there's nobody on the net. All right. So this is called the Athletic Club. They do a lot of different events and things up here. This is called the triple net, maximum load capacity of 8 people. I like to say, I'm not 8 people, but I'm 3 small white women. So, let's do it. So, I got it. So, not 8 people, 3 small people. This is the net. Oh, a little hard to, there we go. And we are actually suspended over people underneath us and over the ocean. I'll show you. You can lay down here on a sea day. They do karaoke out here where you've actually got a moon on the net. But you can see you can't have a fear of heights to go up on the net. You do have to take your shoes off, which I did. It is essentially, if you're afraid of it, it's essentially a trampoline. So it is essentially a trampoline, and they call it the triple net because there are 3 levels of protection here to prevent you from falling down. But again, this is one of the more adventurous explorations on board. Oh, okay, I made it off. So, I will be honest with you. I've been on a lot of cruise lines. I've been cruising since I was 3 or 4 years old. I worked for Celebrity for 7 years in the IT space. And I can very clearly, easily say, in its category, which is, if you want to talk about the category of this ship, for Virgin, it is the higher medium end of the cruise line industry. It's not up with Yachts of Seabourn or anything like that, but it's kind of like, I hate to put it down, I'm not trying to put it down, it's kind of in the Celebrity princess level of cruise ships. It is the best in that level. You can't compare it to something that's really, truly all-inclusive for everybody, or can you compare it to something like Royal Caribbean? It is its own product. The problem is, given the current state of the economy and the potential future state of the economy, and the fact that Virgin is going to need to borrow money to continue running it. If you know anything about borrowing money, if you've got your ship sailing half full and you want to keep them sailing, you have to borrow money if you're not making money. I personally do not believe that at this time, Virgin is making money on these sailings. Now, some of you watching this might be sailing on the 17th of July 2022. That is Richard Branson's birthday bash. That is going to be the highest capacity that this ship has ever been filled to. It will be at least 2,000 guests. And being at least 2,000 guests will again be the highest capacity this ship has ever been filled to. Its last highest capacity was 1,900 guests. Now, the sister ship did just have an Atlantis cruise. That was filled a little bit more. Charters don't happen every day. What a charter is they buy out the entire boat. So they buy out the entire boat, they set the drink prices, but the cool thing is when they do a charter, definitely look up Atlantis charters. When they do a charter, they get a cut of all the revenue. So it's a good thing because they fill the ship, but they also get a cut of all the revenue. So, interesting. So here's the real question. When Virgin's not filling their ship, are they making enough to stay afloat? And my answer is no. But can they find financing to stay afloat until they fill their ships? Yes, but probably at a nearly predatory rate. That's the important thing to understand. So they may need to have a partner in the cruise line industry or an acquisition or something of sorts. And I have some ideas in my head. I don't think Virgin will belong to Bain Capital, who is, we talked earlier, the primary partner in this much longer, but I think they might have another relationship with another cruise line I don't want to disclose at this time because I think that is the way they survive. Again, Virgin Voyages, Scarlet Lady, the Virgin Voyages product is the best product in its price range. Hands down, no question, end of story, done. But can they survive the upcoming depression/recession that we're probably going to see in the world because we loaned money out far too cheaply? Nobody really knows. So in this review, and question mark at the end of the day, is Virgin profitable right now? I don't believe they are. Can they become profitable? Maybe. But the one thing I can agree on, it is the best product in its price class. This is Richard from No Pants Profits coming to you from the Athletic Club on Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, saying that remember with No Pants Profits, when you wear no pants, all you got left to lose is your shirt. See you around and hope you enjoyed this review of the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady and the Scarlet class on Virgin Voyages. Post-shoot Richard with his popsicle, apologizing that he forgot to show you one of the last restaurants on board because he needed a popsicle. Gun Bay, where I'm actually having dinner tonight. And there's the Korean barbecue place on board. And you can see right here, Gun Bay, the Korean barbecue place on board the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. That's it for now. I will enjoy my popsicle and enjoy my Korean barbecue. And my recommendation at Gun Bay is to just order everything. Let the server tell you everything to order. Now, I will tell you, we have some allergens at the table, and what they did, very interestingly, is they're actually cooking that meat at another table. So it's very beneficial. So if you have someone that has allergens in the group, but the secret for Gun Bay is just order everything. All right, so just finished at Gun Bay, and that concludes the tour and kind of financial discussion of the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady and Virgin Voyages more broadly. I hope you've enjoyed and got a little bit of insight, and if you're sailing on Virgin soon, I hope this video helped you out.